All right, mate. Yeah, good morning. So yeah, video on anymore. 3-day, weekly, 2-week, larger time frames. You know, Rush. Yeah, I hope you're well, mate. Let's have a look here. Now, I've drew that because I was just looking at the chart there now, very, very briefly. But sometimes these can break up. Okay, but not counting on that. But I just wanted to point out sometimes these can be like a double, you know, a W pattern, and if it does break up, this W pattern here, you know, in theory you're supposed to take the depth of that and move that to the upside, but quite often you can go, when these patterns actually break up and break out, they can actually run pretty hard. I mean, you could say there's a W pattern in a way, actually, now when I'm looking at it. You know, there's the bottom here and the bottom here, but if a W pattern, when you break it, you can go pretty hard and fast. So it's difficult to know if this is going to break up here. It's not great action there, to be honest. I need to look at different time frames there to try and assess it better. So we'll do that in a minute. I just want to zoom out here and just have a look to see where we're at. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it looks like probably the largest volume. I was going to say in its history. It is in its history, actually. Yeah. 3-day apex is, you know, it's developing, but obviously it is better when the white 100 comes down underneath price. It's been skewed a bit because of the bad bear market, the up movements, this big move up and then the drop down. So it's been a bit skewed. Price needs to recapture the white 100, you know, to be properly bullish in an apex. Of course, like it doesn't, you know, of course that was a low, but and it would have been better buying anywhere here rather than buying here. But you know, to be truly bullish, when you buy here, you can have more confidence because that price then should move up and target into the red 200. Here we don't have that luxury. This unfortunately is going straight when it would be better if it was come down underneath price. So let's just move up here and check out some time frames. It's nice to see the white 100 getting close. This is what you want to see. You know, you want to see this coming down because for real bull markets, price needs to recapture the white 100 and move up. You will not have a bull market unless that happens. Otherwise, it will just be spikes that will come back down, spikes that will come back down, spikes that will come back down. You need to safely recapture the white 100 in order to have a real bull market. Okay, so that's important, but we're getting closer. You can see we're getting closer. Still red on the 2-week. You know, there's 4 days left. So there's what this is saying here is that this is a consolidation candle. There's no need to buy any more in this 2-week candle, right? There's no need at all. You're best to wait, best to have patience, and then you trade a new weekly 2-week candle in 4 days time potentially, and you can look for you know, there's a lot of liquidity up here. It'll come back here at some point. Will it come back on the next week? Who knows? But you can see here it had the big candle, and then you have this consolidation candle, and then you get the move up. So we've had the consolidation candle here. It's different. It's slightly different. It's not as bullish, but it's okay. This is a consolidation candle. It doesn't have to be green. Like here, you can see you get the red candle there, and you get a big move up. Right, and that's a pretty big move up afterwards. You know, it's decent. It's a liquidity grab right there, and that's what you want here. You want a liquidity grab on a new 2-week. That would be a trade. You know, it could be a 30. Let me just measure that. Yeah, 40% bounce on that. You know, let's just check this one as well. Actually, now when we're at it, I'm still a bit hoarse. Not hoarse. This is 105%. Bloody hell! I didn't think it was that much. I'm still a bit hoarse there, but I hope you can hear me. But I caught some sort of flu or COVID or something on the planes on the flight back. But going all right, not too bad. But just a bit stuffy with the flu or whatever. I feel like I'm mumbling, but yeah. So I like this. Like, I mean, it's tough to say, right? I like this volume. This is fantastic. Now, can we get, like, because see here, you get large volume, okay, and then you get consolidation, and because there's volume, there's interest, right? There's interest here, and yes, volume can cause a sell-off because there's no buyers left after a big volume like this. Okay, so this can do the same, but it doesn't mean that it can't come back up here first, and then you roll over, and it's maybe filling out this pattern, something like this or whatever, and then it'll eventually break out. Okay, but this volume usually indicates you can get a sell-off, and you did actually get a sell-off already on the wick, but you can also get the move up to take liquidity and then roll over again, because there's not many buyers left because this volume has been huge. But I like this in the near term, on a new 2 week. I think it's good potential. Now obviously we need to watch it. I would look for something almost exactly like this, a very small dip down and a flip green, very small dip down and a flip green, and I look for a push up. There's nothing wrong with a 40% gain if you could get it. That'd be fantastic. Obviously if this is red on a new 2 week, you're best to stay away. Like for example, here sometimes you get the small wick up and then it's just too bearish and you drop right down. I know it's a different circumstances than this, but this is a consolidation candle, but it's after a liquidity grab candle, so it's a different situation. This is a liquidity grab situation, so there's more possibility of this moving up on a new 2 week than there was here. This is a liquidity grab into a liquidity grab candle, and then you get the rejection. Okay, so anyway, let's just zoom out here a little bit. That's the 2 weeks, so you 4 days to wait. I would wait 4 days on this. I like this. I might even buy it myself. Hopefully I remember. Maybe I'll put it in the watch list channel or something. But again, the 9 week, unfortunately it's red, but that's okay, because and there's the reason for it's okay is because it might be taking liquidity in this bottom wick first, and then any bullishness at all, if it flips green, there's a decent chance then it could pop up and take liquidity above. Like look at here, similar candle, but it didn't come down and take liquidity below because there was no wick below. Okay, but it opened up and just went, and away we went. That's probably that 100% gain that we talked about earlier. But if this flips green here, there's a chance for a decent move up here into a pierce above the yellow 9 EMA. That's in the near-ish term, right? At this point, this is lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and we are, we're still in this sort of. I'm not saying we're going here to 2026. I don't mean that at all. But I'm just saying that it's lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high the whole way. There's no change in trend yet. Again, like we've said all year, and we've even said this before the start of this year, that there's a real possibility that we need a new yearly candle for all of these coins, and you can see it right there. Yeah, I mean, the yearly ideally here needs to stay green. That's something to watch. Okay, you want that to stay green. If that flips red, that's not good. It's a bad sign because it's already grabbed liquidity. You want this yearly open to hold and bounce back off the yearly open area and come back up a bit. But overall, I do think this needs a new year, for any real bull market or whatever. This candle's fine, but as long as it stays green, we'll know more as the year develops. But this liquidity, or grabbing down liquidity, and I'm going to draw this here actually. This would be my favorite setup going forward. Would be a stop hunt of this inside bar. This is an inside bar, so if we pierce below it, I'm going to set an alarm on that right now. I don't have the right API webhooks set up. I need to change webhooks actually for the alarms. But if I were you, I would set an alarm below this yearly candle as well, and a pierce of there next year, and a pierce of it now is no good, but it needs to be a pierce of it next year. If we pierce that next year and we pop back up, that's a fantastic place to be watching and potentially buying, to be nailing a major low before a big green yearly candle up. So I definitely would be watching that. But to me, it looks like overall it does need a new year. But in the short term, there can be those bounces that I talked about.